Hi everyone, you are welcome to this YouTube video. This is episode 9, I think, of my prop firm series. For those that are new to this channel, I actually started a prop firm challenge series whereby I bought a 100k Hola Prime prop firm account and I've been trading it for a while now. I think I started trading it at the end of May towards the start of June. And currently, I have passed the phase 1 of this challenge. I am trading the phase 2. I'm yet to pass and I'm yet to fail. Anything can happen. It can go both ways because this challenge to me is a way for me to gather data. To me, I feel like I'm forward testing my strategy. It is not mandatory for me to pass, and I hope not to fail. To me, it is a win-win situation because this data I am gathering from this challenge is really, really, really valuable, as you can see from my journal on your screen. So without wasting much of your time, without further ado, let me just go straight into the screenshots of the trades that I took. Starting from the first trade here that I took on July 14th, the trade was on the NZD-JPY pair. I started this week by risking 0.7% per trade, just the way I did from the start of this phase 2. I've been risking I've been risking a consistent 0.7%. So this is the chart for NZD-JPY. This trade was actually going sideways for a long time. It was going sideways for a long time that, to be honest, I couldn't continue holding it. So immediately I saw that I was a little bit back, not back in profit per se. I saw that I was not too deep in drawdown. I ended up closing this trade in a little bit of loss. So I was supposed to lose 1.4% because I scaled in on this particular pair. I entered twice. So if I had taken full loss on this particular trade, I was supposed to lose 1.4%. But I think I ended up losing about 600 or 700 dollars, which is 0.7% or so, because I closed early. At the end of the day, this pair actually dumped in my direction. Like NCTGPY actually dumped in my direction. If I had held, I would have probably closed in profit, but it is what it is, you know. Speaking in hindsight is not usually nice. We usually don't know what is going to happen in the market. So we can only speak in hindsight sometimes. We'll be like, if we had held, it would have gone in our direction, but there is nothing you could have done, you know? Yeah, we closed and it was, to me, at the time I was closing, it was the right decision. And then it is what it is. So the second trade was on silver. This silver trade ended up giving us a win. I closed this trade for a win, but not a full win. If sometime, I think it was on Thursday, the dollar was dumping. The XY was dumping. So as the XY was dumping, I was expecting silver and gold to start buying. You know, sometimes they are negatively correlated. If the SY is dumping, if dollar is dumping, gold would be buying. But not always, not all the time, but most times. If dollar is dumping, silver and gold will be buying. So that Thursday that I closed this trade, the price was around this level. Silver was buying and dollar was heavily dumping. I panicked. I panicked and I just closed my trade because I didn't want this trade to go back into drawdown and probably take me out for a loss. So I just closed in a small profit. At least let me just build my account back because my balance was reducing drastically. My balance was reducing drastically. So I just wanted to build up my account balance back. So I closed this trade in profit. I don't regret it, to be honest. I don't regret it. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, moving on. The next trade I took was on, okay, this NZD here is just a repetition of the first one I showed you guys because I added it twice in my journal because this trade was scaled in. So I entered the first 0.7% here, and then I added another 0.7% here, which is why I have this sell tool placed here twice and why I recorded it twice on my journal. So the next setup that closed out was on oil. So this is the trade on oil. Actually, this trade, I got wicked out. I got wicked out by a very small amount here. This trade is still valid. This trade is still valid. It's still going on in profit, but I got stopped out. I don't know. Spread just widened. Immediately this week, got so close to my stop loss right here. I got stopped out for a loss. And then the whole thing now shot back up, started moving in my favor. I actually took this same trade on my Funding Pips account because I have a Funding Pips phase one account that I'm trading that I even bought a long time ago before this Hola Prime. This trade on my Funding Pips account is still going in profit. I was not stopped out, but somehow I got stopped out on this trade on my Hola Prime account, which sucks. It sucks, but it is what it is. There's nothing I can do. So I got stopped out on my oil trade and it was a loss. It was a loss. I lost 0.53% on this trade because as at this point, my account was down significantly. So I decided to start risking 0.5%. I decided to drop my risk from 0.7% to 0.5% just to be able to accommodate, to cushion the effect of this losing streak. And this 0.5% risk that I am doing at the moment is what I am going to stick to throughout this challenge. Even if I come back in profit, even if I come back to starting balance, I'm going to continue risking 0.5%. I feel extremely comfortable with risking it. So the next trade I closed was on NZD USD. I love this trade. It was a full win. This was my first full win for the week or for the challenge. Yeah, this was my first full win for this phase two challenge. So this is the screenshot. Beautiful, beautiful. I wish all my trades would be like this, but it's not possible. This is so nice, you know. I got in this setup late. Actually, my entry was supposed to be on the 0.684 fib level. But when I entered this trade, this candle had already closed below my entry level. I was like, even better, even better. That would even give me a nicer risk to reward, to give me more risk to reward. So I jumped in and then this trade played around, and then smashed my TP. I love, this is my perfect A plus setup. You guys can see the liquidity sweep right here. Liquidity sweep, break of structure. I use my Fibonacci from swing low to swing high, got my setup, pew, straight to TP. I love it. I love it. When I saw this, I was like, yes, yes, thank God. The losing streak course is finally over. And then the next trade was on BTC and I took a loss. I took a loss on BTC. Oh. Let me show you guys. So this is the loss I took on BTC actually. I got wicked out too. Trade was moving in my favor. I got my entry, started moving in my favor, moving in my favor. The trade was moving in my favor, and then this week came down. Piam, piam, stop me out for a loss. It is what it is. My risk is perfectly managed. I was risking 0.5% on this trade. Yeah, but I ended up risking about 0.67 because of swaps, commission, and the rest. All those additional fees, all those shenanigans. Lo and behold, I got my second full win on AUD USD. Sweet. Very similar setup with NZD USD trade. Very, very similar. Lots of liquidity sweeps here. This one liquidity sweep. This is another liquidity sweep. This is one. This is two. I got it. I think I took the trade starting from this lower one. Immediately I saw this break of structure. I took my Fibonacci. Swing low, swing high. I got my entry here and allowed the trade to smash. Allow the trade to smash my take profit. You know the feeling as dollar DXY was dumping, AUD USD was bullish, was pumping higher, and it went and smashed my TP. It was a nice feeling for this trade. You know the sound when your trading view gives you that alert. When you hear that alert that your trade has smashed your TP, you feel fulfilled, you feel nice. You know, it's sweet when you plan a trade from beginning till end and it ends up hitting your TP. That has got to be one of the sweetest feeling. Sweet feeling. Yeah, I love this. Let me not be too dramatic. Let me not be too gassed. Yeah, so the next trade I took was a loss. I closed this trade was this GBP JPY trade in a loss. It's a very, very, very valid setup. Very, very valid setup, you know. Just I followed my strategy, to be honest. I know maybe some of you might think maybe I deviated from my strategy. No, in the most part, I followed my strategy. This strategy works. It works. It helped me to pass my phase one. But the market condition at the moment is something else. So you don't expect your edge to be playing out all year round, all the months, all the weeks of a month, and every month your strategy will not play out every time. Losing streaks are inevitable. So I took my setup, swing low, swing high, took my entry, and then it was a loss. It is what it is. I risked 0.5%, but I ended up losing about 0.67%. It is what it is. That's why I reduced my risks. You see the reason why it's good to adjust your risk? At least I'm not losing more than 0.7%, which was my initial amount to lose per trade. So the next setup I took, and it was a loss, was on CAD JPY. Similar play as GBP JPY. This is this right here. Similar play as GBP JPY. Swing low, swing high, took my entry, loss. It is what it is. The next one was on Euro JPY. Similar play with CAD JPY. Swing low, swing high, took my entry, it was a loss. Then this was a mistake. The mistake in the sense that the setup was valid. This GBP JPY setup was valid. It was my weekly strategy setup. I'm supposed to hold for a long time. But the mistake, I marked it as mistake because the level I was supposed to put I was supposed to start my swing low. The level I was supposed to start my Fibonacci was not the level I usually use on my weekly strategy. So I used a much different and higher level. So I got stopped out. So it was actually my fault. And that is why I tagged this as mistake. It was my fault. So I was supposed to use a level lower than this, somewhere down below. But I used this level and I was wiped out. So it was my fault. All these other trades too that I tagged as mistakes or invalid, there were things I did while analyzing the charts for this trade that I know now are wrong and I'm not going to repeat them. So you take losses and we learn from the losses. If we take losses and we don't learn from these losses, then what are we doing? So right now, this is a win-win situation for me because I know what not to do next time. I know exactly what not to do. This might be losses, but they are lessons to me. So moving on, the next trade I took was on Euro GBP. This Euro GBP trade too, I took it on the 4-hour time frame. There is something about this trade that I need to adjust. Yeah, my normal Fibonacci play, right? But this my stop loss level is supposed to be down here. So I was supposed to use a level down here, this level for my entry. I was supposed to use a level down here, but I used this level here. So I got stopped out. I learned a lesson on this particular trade, and I know exactly what to do next to avoid getting stopped out like this. I know exactly what to do. I've learned my lesson. These are all the trades that I took, and I now know their outcome. So on this my chart, you would see that there are trades that I have not highlighted yet. These blank trades. It means these trades, I have taken them. I have a running position. I have running positions on these pairs. They've not yet hit my take profit and they've not yet hit my stop loss. So these trades are still running. So I have one on Euro card. I have one on Euro USD, which is doing fine. I have one on AUD CHF, which is doing fine too. I have one on GBP JPY. I have one on BTC USD. All these running trades are doing fine. They are currently in profit. And I'm hoping that by next week, I will close most of them, if not all, in profit. And then my account will now grow. So these are all the trades that I have taken for this week. As you all know, I usually come to the balance, moment of truth. For those that don't know, I usually like to showcase the balance of my account at the end of the week. So, as at Friday, 31st of July, 2026, after the market closed, I documented my Hola Prime Phase 2 balance. And my balance at the moment is at $93,644, which means I am currently down minus 6.36%. Damn, that's tough. I'm currently down 6.36%. So for the whole month of July, I am down 6.36%. This might look like a very, very large drawdown to be in, but I'm going to continue doing what I'm doing. I'm going to continue following my rules. I'm not going to YOLO the rest of my balance. No, no, that's not what we do here. Past me, previous me, something in me would be like, I have 3.6 left. Let me just YOLO it in one trade and try to bring my account back into profit just with one trade. No, I'm not going to do that. I am still going to continue risking 0.5% per trade until either I bring this account back to starting balance or I blow the account. But I still want to continue following my rules, and I still intend to continue risking 0.5% no matter what happens. Come what may, I'm not going to YOLO it. No, we've improved. We've come so far. We've gained a lot of experience to an extent in this business of trading. So we know well not to YOLO our accounts. We're going to continue trading it. And hopefully, we come back from this drawdown. Yeah, that is all I have for you guys about my trading for this week. You guys can see that my balance is at 93,644. You can also see that I am 6.36% in drawdown. Just the way I promised you guys when I started this challenge that I'm not going to hold back. I'm not going to hide anything. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. I'm going to show you guys everything, the truth. If I'm winning, I'm going to show you guys. If I'm taking losses, I'm going to show you guys. And that's how it needs to be. That's how it has to be. Transparency. If I blow the account, I'm going to tell you guys. There is nothing there. It's okay to blow accounts. But the most important question is, have you learned any lesson? Have you taken lessons? Have you learned lessons from your losses? If you are not learning lessons from your losses, then I don't know what you're doing. It's not making any sense. So, without wasting much of your time, I think it's better for me to just wrap it up here. If you like to see more about my challenge, if you want to see more episodes about this challenge of mine, if you like what I'm doing right here, if you want to follow me on my journey, please like this video, subscribe, share this video to your friends, and then leave me a nice comment in my comment section. Or if you have any advice for me, drop it down in the comment section. And with that being said, catch you guys in the next episode. Peace.